Chapter 11. Spike said, "I saw the whole story from the window. Cops, in and out. Meanie, in and out. Max, out." He was talking from his window. I was standing in the court, about 12 feet below. When I tried to look up at him, the sun was in my eyes. "So now what?" he said. "Now we get to work. Your assignment is to go up to Sugary's apartment." "No hardship," he said, and began to lick his coat. "No courtship, either. This is business, okay? Describe the bald burglar, and—" "What bald burglar?" "Oh." I'd forgotten that I hadn't filled him in. I filled him in quickly. "Ask her if she's ever seen the guy before, or if she knows who he is." "And where are you going?" "Out." If I had the address right, Lady Anne Sternwood was living in a 3-story mansion on 11th. I looked at the old brass numbers on the door, then jumped to the window ledge and checked my reflection in the spit-polished surface of the living room panes. Gray flannel suit, clean white shirt, white wool socks. I was everything the well-dressed detective ought to be, and about to introduce myself to 20 million bucks. I jumped through the burglar-proof bars on the window and landed on the rug. Inside, it was cool. Not air-conditioned cool. The room was like money that's been sitting in a vault, untouched, unwarmed by any hot little hands. Thick white drapes had been drawn across the windows. 2 white sofas stared blankly at each other, their cushions looking plump and as rounded as geese. The rug was oriental. The walls were a shiny and peculiar shade of red. A couple of tables seemed to wear the same color, and everywhere you looked, there were huge flowered vases and shiny figurines. "Dear heavens," said a deep-throated, middle-aged voice. "I do hope you're not a burglar." I turned. She was standing at the entrance from the hall. A pedigreed Persian, long-haired and plumpish and the color of ginger ale. "Relax," I said politely. "I am a private detective." "Strange. I don't find that relaxing at all. In fact, I don't think I like private detectives much more than I like burglars. Who are you, young man?" "I'm Sue's friend, Sam." "Sue," she said. "Oh, the little shop girl at the shop." "She's the manager," I said, "and she told me you were robbed. I came to ask a few questions." "I see." She jumped languidly over to the sofa, not inviting me to sit. "And what were you expecting to collect for this service?" "Answers," I said. "That was all I came to get." "How delightfully refreshing," she said. "In this age of greed and theft. If you'd like to sit down," she said, "not on the cushions, you can dangle from the arm." I sat on the carpet. "It's a Persian," she said. "Beg pardon?" "The carpet. The one we had before was just a little too French. The whole room, you see, was French. The year before, it was Spanish." "The room?" I said. "Yes. Mrs. Sternwood redecorates every single year. Memorial Day weekend. Like clockwork, don't you see? And then they go away." "For the summer?" "But of course, my dear. The best people do." "And they leave you here alone?" For a quarter of a second she looked a little sad. Then she lifted up her chin. "Not entirely alone. We've got a housekeeper, dear. Mrs. Clayton. Mrs. Clayton comes at least twice a week. And I've got my own amusements." I looked around the room, in which nothing to me looked tremendously amusing. No records, no books, no toys, no games. Lady Anne had apparently caught my train of thought. I'm working on a needlepoint rug, she said defensively, and flashed her pretty nails. I'm ripping out the flowers. First I ripped the yellow ones. Now I'm on the reds. But enough about me. You want to talk about the thief. I nodded. First question. Can you tell me what he stole? Of course I can, darling. An emerald necklace and a Cartier watch. I smiled. Is that amusing? No, but it fits. According to Tom, Mr. Quark had sold exactly those items to Cheater a week ago Sunday. And you saw the man, I said. It was terrifying, yes. It was just after midnight. Last Saturday. Yes. I was sleeping in the bedroom, up on the 3rd floor, and suddenly the door from the roof garden opened, and there stood a man. Was he armed? Well, of course he was armed, dear heart. He was also legged. 2 arms, 2 legs. Uh-huh, I said deliberately. How about guns? No, he wasn't gunned. Nor do I believe he was batted or knifed. I can tell you he was clothed, and he was clothed in all black. Can you tell me what he looked like? Sorry, dear, she said, but they all look alike to me, especially in the dark. And the door, I said, ignoring her comment, was it locked? It's always locked, she said. What woke me was the faintest little click of the key. I'm a terribly light sleeper. Last year I was wakened by a hiccup in New Jersey. Trenton, I believe. Uh-huh, I said. Sort of like the Princess and the Pea. Ah, the princess. She nodded. I know the lady well, and it wasn't a pea, dear. I think it was a pie. A large, quite uncomfortable huckleberry pie. Even peasants, I believe, would awaken from a pie. The burglar, I said, all purple and squishy. The burglar, I said, all soggy and yick. The burglar, I reminded her. He walked in and... what? Oh, she said. Him. He went directly to the hat box. The jewels were in the box? They were underneath the hat. One other question. I was eager to get away. When the guy was in the bedroom, did you smell something funny? Smell? She said. You think I got close enough to smell? I was hiding under a pillow. When he got to the hat box, I ran to the other room. Good choice, I said, rising. She walked me to the window. By the way, I said, turning for a moment on the ledge, did you enjoy Beverly Hills? That was months ago, she said, but I wouldn't recommend it. If you want my opinion, she lowered her voice, it's a town full of bloodsuckers, parasites, and vermin. Fleas, I said thoughtfully. Fleas, she said. Yes.